Good day. For our learning targets for today, we have I can comprehend what it means to be the people of God, and I can explain how the church related to Jesus Christ, baptism, love, calling, and mission in the given activity. Now you have watched the video about Philippines 500 years of Christianity. Now, how the church will celebrate this special event. Now, the year 2021 is very significant for us, Filipino Catholics. It is the year when we celebrate 500 years of Catholic faith in our country. To celebrate this important event, every year from 2009, a particular theme is given focus. The focus helps Filipino Catholics reflect on the theme and undertake projects in line with it. For 2017, the theme is the Parish Communion of Communities. This aims to help Filipino Catholics realize that they are called to communion in the church and that the parish represents their experience of the church. The people of God feels a sense of belonging and communion in the church through the parish. This experience of communion is strengthened in the celebration of the Eucharist. Now, what are the characteristics of the church as people of God? Now, the answer to that question is from the verse in the Bible, from 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 to 10 about God's people. You are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people of His own, so that you may announce the praises of Him who called you out of darkness into His wonderful light. Once you were no people, but now you are God's people. You had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. The people of God. The 500 years of the Catholic faith truly calls for a celebration. As we look forward to this important event, we affirm our communion as church by reflecting on the theme, the Parish Communion of Communities. As we reflect on this theme, we recall the time when God started to form Israel to be His people. Israel is the people of God formed to be His own. He loved and cared for them, but they were unfaithful to Him. Now, let's talk about the church, the new people of God. Jesus formed the new people of God when He started His public ministry. First, by calling the 12 who helped Him in ministering to the people. The 12, in turn, moved by the Holy Spirit, formed communities of faithful disciples. Today, we call these communities church. Now, how God formed His people in the Old Testament and foreshadows the church being the new people of God. In the Old Testament, God chose for Himself a people He called His own, the Israelites. He saved them from slavery, guided and provided for them in the desert, established a covenant with them, and helped them become His faithful children through the Ten Commandments. How do you live out the mission as God's people? We are members of the church, the people of God. Being part of the people of God is a gift given to us by God, but at the same time, a responsibility. We receive the power to perform these responsibilities from the Holy Spirit who empowers us. Now, how do you live out the mission as God's people? By living as a follower of Christ, dedicating to the task of building a strong family for Christ, being committed and active members of the parish community, and being a witness to the world of God's love. These are just some of the ways on how you live out the mission as God's people. Now, what are the different characteristics that the people of God should live out and constantly strive to hope for? A person becomes a member of these people through baptism. The head of these people is Jesus Christ. All people are invited to be members of the church, but this membership is accomplished only when a person receives the sacrament of baptism. The people of God enjoys the status of being God's children in whose hearts the Holy Spirit dwells. When a person receives baptism and becomes a member of the church, he or she also becomes a child of God. It's the law, the new covenant of love, living by its law, the covenant of love. The members of the church are called to live by one commandment, the commandment of love. This commandment of love is expressed in love for God and love for one's neighbor. Our mission of spreading the good news of God's love. Its mission is to spread the good news of God's love. Membership in the church gives us the privilege of being God's children, while at the same time it gives us the responsibility of spreading the good news of God's love. Lastly, our calling, which is to be with the Father in heaven to share in His happiness. By fulfilling the mission given to them, the members of the church are rewarded with eternal happiness with the Father in heaven. So again, the church is the new people of God. We become members of this people through baptism. We are bound by the new covenant of love. Our head is Jesus, and our mission is to spread the good news of love, so that we will be in the Father in heaven to share His happiness.